Moe's bar has the strongest security system. Everyone gathered to watch the century flower bloom. According to the regulations, the venue could accommodate a maximum of 2,500 people. Now, one person had to be kicked out. After scanning the crowd, the sheriff chose Moe without hesitation, an old bachelor who was still alone at his age. The century flower was finally about to bloom. What kind of fragrance would a flower that blooms once every 100 years have? People inhaled deeply, only to smell a terrible stench. It killed the plants and drove away the onlooking crowd. A clown jumped into a pile of manure, trying to take refuge there. People scrambled to escape. Moe, who had left, walked down the street feeling dejected and lonely. He saw a homeless man picking through the trash, and through comparison, he found a little happiness. But even the homeless man had a girlfriend. Moe felt even worse. The fleeing crowd crammed onto the bridge. Homer was driving with his eyes closed. Lisa reminded him to brake. Homer slammed on the brakes, but it was too late. Maggie was thrown out of the car. She fell off the bridge due to the momentum. At that moment, Moe was under the bridge, preparing to jump into the river. Moe had finally broken down. He was trying to kill himself, but he suddenly saved Maggie instead. Moe felt that life suddenly had meaning. From then on, Moe would visit Maggie to play. It just so happened that no one was available to look after Maggie today. Marge asked Moe to watch Maggie. Moe decided to entertain her with a performance. He set up a makeshift bar and poured milk for his little customer. Maggie really liked this uncle now. She almost cried when he was about to leave. Marge said he was welcome to come and play anytime. Moe checked his schedule and said he was free anytime. So Moe began taking Maggie out to play regularly. Marge had free time and could even make elaborate Chinese food. Homer suddenly realized that Moe was more like a father figure. Bart said not to worry. He could play the role of his own father. Homer suddenly had an urge to take Maggie back, even though he usually didn't care much about the kids. Soon it was time for Maggie's birthday party. Moe was becoming more and more like a father. He knew Maggie's preferences and would even chase away other kids who came near. Homer rushed over and snatched Maggie away, but he didn't know how to hold a baby. Maggie strongly rejected Homer and threw herself into Moe's arms. Moe made a model of the bar so Maggie could know what he was doing even when she wasn't around. At night, Maggie cried again. Homer and Marge didn't want to go downstairs. Moe suddenly offered to handle it. He had installed a monitor in Maggie's room and would climb through the window whenever there was any movement. Homer couldn't accept such an intrusive act from Moe. Moe, unable to see Maggie, always felt that something was missing from his life. Maggie also missed Moe very much. In the middle of the night, she heard the mafia outside the house. The boss was imitating the Godfather's style with orange peels. This reminded Maggie that Moe had done something similar. She thought that following the mafia would lead her to Moe. Marge called the police as soon as she discovered this. They all assumed that Moe had kidnapped Maggie. The police surrounded Moe's apartment with their men. They rushed in and grabbed Moe, rescuing Maggie from the oven. But fortunately, it was just a ham. Upon hearing that Maggie was missing, Moe desperately pleaded to be allowed to help find the child. Marge was moved and immediately agreed. The police retreated at once. The family could only rely on themselves. Moe saw orange peels on the ground and thought of the Godfather bit he had performed for Maggie. It seemed this was